All right, why I keep crashing, or yeah, I just have these like few days where I just crash and not much work gets done. And in this video, it's not gonna be like me educating you or like sharing something that can, but actually, it's gonna be something I'm sharing. I'm just gonna share the messy reality of working alone and what it actually looks like in the trenches, and not just sharing when I'm good or when things are working good. I think it's very important, especially in this age that we're moving into, where everything is like AI, and AI can create all this content. But these challenges and trenches, sharing them, and also like documenting this process, and also like once I get out of this, I think that could be like really valuable, and if you can like relate to this, stick together. So yes, why? So basically, yeah. What is the pattern that I've kind of identified? So I have this cycle that keeps repeating. So usually have good energy, and I be like productive for days, and then suddenly I just crash. I mean, nothing gets done for like one day, or sometimes the crash even goes on for 2 days. And eventually, every time I recover, and then, yeah, and again, I get on like good energy, and then this cycle just keeps happening. And the bad thing is, it's not predictable. Like, I don't really know when this crash is coming. So I haven't fully solved it yet. And as I said, yeah, this is not going to be an educational video, but I do think that this can be valuable because you can relate to it. And I'm also going to be sharing what are the steps that I'm thinking of implementing, so that I can like get out of this. So yeah, this is what it actually looks like. So um, the productive phase, when things are like actually working, so everything looks good, energy levels are good, I can focus on deep work blocks, 4 hour sessions every day. And yeah, I usually like work for like 8 hours on an entire day. I get my work done, I do client stuff, I do content, I do studying, and I pull my daily levers. Now, what are these levers? So that's basically, levers are, I just, so if I have any goal that I want to accomplish within a time period, I think, um, for me, instead of like just focusing on the output, I think it's more important to like just put the inputs that would get me to the goal. So if, let's say, I want to, I don't know, let's say if you want to like make money online, so what are the inputs that I can put that can actually get me to the goals, which could be like, I don't know, doing outreach every day, send 10 DMs every day, or send 300 cold emails every day for I don't know, like a month straight. And yeah, that just guarantees results. Or maybe not at the start, but then you just train yourself, and you just get better at it, and eventually you just get the results. So yeah, so that's basically levers. And yeah, I have like daily levers set up. What are the daily levers that I have right now? Record one YouTube video every day. And for me right now, yeah, do some sort of prospecting every day. I'll get into that more, but yeah, everything feels manageable. The morning is, I mean, mornings are when I'm most focused, and usually like between waking up and noon. And if I win the morning, I win the day. Usually I just want to like get or knock all these daily levers that I said. So these are the things that are most important actions, that which I would which if I do for a consistent period of time, like, I don't know, 15 days or 1 month or 2 months, they're just guaranteed to give me results. Like, uh, and yeah, this is one of my levers as well. Me post recording this video right now. So yeah, now if I can like get my levers, so I just set for myself like levers for me to pull, which would be like, okay, so these are the levers that I'm gonna pull every day. I don't know, like record one video every day, do one community post, which is like out kind of like a channel that I'm doing for outreach. And yeah, so let's say if I have like three levers, and if I get the three levers, I just front load them, which means I just want to like get it done as the first thing in the morning. And once I get that done, I win the day. I can just do whatever I want for the rest of the day, knowing that I have like knocked out the very important work I've like identified and isolated and got that done. So yeah, this phase of productive phase usually lasts for several days. Then something shifts. Then comes the crash, which is unpredictable, and yeah, it just shows up. And what triggers it, honestly, I don't have a clear pattern yet. Sometimes it could be maybe I'm feeling anxious about something. I'm not the person who gets anxious a lot. I very rarely get anxious, but maybe even those slight anxious moments, or maybe it could be burnout from too much deep work. I've also identified that when I'm doing exams, when I'm right after an exam from university or something, usually those crashes happen. Or it could be bad environment. Like, I think this is the most, this is like the primary driver for me right now for my crashes, like distractions. And starting the morning with distractions, when I'm in a crash, and the next morning, usually I just start with distractions, and that just ruins the day. And the unpredictability, as I said, is the worst part. I can't see it coming, so I mean, I wouldn't say I cannot, but at least for now, I couldn't prevent it. What the crash looks like. So yeah, one pattern would be like YouTube rabbit hole. So yeah, I would just like consume hours of entertaining content, go late into the night and just keep watching those content. That ruins my sleep schedule, like destroys my morning focus time because I have to like wake up the next day late, and then next day starts badly, cycle continues. The other pattern would be social escape. So I'm just like playing this app called WePlay where you can just game and socialize with a couple of friends. And yeah, I'm also like I I very much enjoy singing, and since this ties up like singing and socializing as well, and since yeah, I just like do this for hours without realizing and feels good in the moment, but I mean it's essentially a crash. What happens during these crash, as I said, daily levers don't get pulled. Yesterday I didn't post a video because of this, and client work stalls, university studying doesn't happen, momentum completely dies for like a day or two, sometimes even longer. And sometimes, don't get me wrong, it's not like just one day. Sometimes it comes up for like a 5 hours or something. But yeah, how it feels. Sometimes guilty, sometimes actually good, like I'm having fun, or sometimes bad, too many hours wasted. The guilt is kind of weird. Part of me knows I should be productive. Part of me just wants to escape and relax. And yeah, I mean, these are my entertainments, and um, yeah, I don't have much entertainment or windows for entertainment in my life, so I wouldn't want to like completely strip myself out of this. Although these are distractions, and I would want to strip them out, but it just feels like let me just have that. Those are the only entertainment that I have in my life right now. So yeah, that is not completely removing them isn't realistic. So how I get out of it, the recovery process. Now, eventually my energy comes back. I always know that even when I'm in a crash, eventually my energy levels will get back. And this is like a very important thing, which I've learned. And yeah, I'm learning as well, which is start thinking like a scientist and not like a judge. I mean, I used to like just knock myself when I am on a crash, and I just be the judge of my own self, and I'll be like, oh, Alwin, you just like messed up. You should have done this better. And that's what a judge would say. But then a scientist, there's this research, and if something fails, okay, okay, this failed. How could this have failed? And they just look back at the process and optimize it so that they can like make it better without guilt. And yeah, a scientist just doesn't look at their research that they conducted and be like, why would you not do this? Just try harder. But they would actually like um, alter the inputs or whatever that goes into it, right? So what caused this? How do I get back? And the key realization I can't think about doing, and yeah, this is a very important thing that has helped me like get back up when I'm in these crash phases. And when I'm in the crash phases and suddenly like I don't know, hints of like energy like hits me up again, and I feel like okay, I can get up and start working again. When I think of like big things, like today, I wanted to get my laundry done, which is probably not work, but yeah, it was work for me. Like yeah, and I had to get it done because tomorrow I have exam and I don't have clothes to wear. And when I thought about like doing the entire thing, it's a big friction, and I just get into the all or nothing mindset, which means our brain, or we have a psychology which just lets us to like do the thing entirely or just skip the thing entirely. But to like evade this, one thing that has really worked for me is okay, so I need to do the laundry, but I'm not going to think about doing the entire laundry. I just have like a few used clothes on my bed. I'm just going to grab them and put it inside the laundry bag. And once that is done, and I also tell myself, and once that is done, I can like snap out of it and just do whatever I was doing before. And once I do that, I don't know, the momentum kicks in, and I would want to do the next thing. I just think, okay, what's the small next step? Okay, let me just grab the laundry bag and just get outside, and I can come back if I want to. And usually when I start doing that, usually I just get the entire laundry done. Not just laundry, like it also applied for cooking. Like I'm just gonna see how long this video is. Okay, that's 9 minutes, not bad. Okay, so yeah, also for cooking, I just got, okay, let me just get my cutting board out, and yeah, I can like snap out of it if I want to. And then I was like, okay, let me just chop the onions. And I did that, and that just led me to like doing the entire cooking done. So that's basically what I'm trying to say. And yeah, the small steps method, which is what I just like termed it. I don't know if there's like an actual framework for this, but yeah. Yeah, as I said, oh, that's the real example from today that I just said. And yeah, I need to do laundry, too big, too much friction. And yeah, as I said, I just do the small steps, which doesn't sound really that big of a deal, and I just do it. And I can stop here if I want. I just tell myself, if after I like put the clothes in the laundry bag, I can stop and I can like get back to, I don't know, watching YouTube or whatever. And yeah, also cooking. I need to cook something which is like overwhelming when in crash mode, especially when my focus is not that great, when my energy levels are low. And I just say, okay, let me just go to the kitchen and I can come back if I want. Let me just grab the cutting board. Let me just pick up and once I'm done, let me just pick up the onion and start cutting. And let me just put the pan on the stove, and I can snap out of this if I want to. But usually the momentum kicks in and I just get the entire thing done as momentum builds as I take all these small actions. So yeah, the critical part is I can snap out at any step. This removes the pressure, so I don't have to like once I'm done with this, I have to move to the next thing. No, I don't have the pressure. So yeah, makes it feel less overwhelming. And usually once I start, I keep going. So yeah, that is one thing I learned. And what I'm learning, my current theory is all or nothing mindset. This is the big thing. Now, I only track deep work blocks. I mean, that is what I used to do. So actually I have this app called Pomodoro Timer, which is on right now because I'm recording this video. But yeah, pomofocus.io. I just get on here and I start. I mean, it's Pomodoro is basically just like 25 a framework where you can like you work for 25 minutes and then a 5 minutes break, and then 25. You do this like over and over again for 3 times, or I guess 4, and then you have like a long break. And yeah, it's just like a proven framework. And yeah, I just like track. It just lets me track. So anytime I work, I have this like it creates me charts of like, okay, so I've worked for so many hours on each of these days. So it has like days and then the amount of hours. Okay, so I worked for 5 hours on Jan 6th or whatever. So yeah, and I also like after I work, I just tag on what I actually worked on, which lets me like keep a rough track on what I'm working on. So that is what it used to be. But then after that, I realized, okay, so but that actually creates a friction, big friction. So what if I can have a middle ground? So as I said, this creates pressure to always be on and be on. Like when I'm on these deep work blocks, I want to be on full focus. But what I realized is that made me, okay, either I'm going all in and focusing all in, or I'm just not doing anything and just chilling, watching YouTube, or I don't know, playing games. And I thought, what if I could add light work blocks, and yeah, that I don't track. So light work blocks, so basically I don't track it, I don't on my Pomodoro timer, and there's no pressure for me to like actually do something. But yeah, just sit on my laptop, just do some work, and no pressure to like actually do outcome based, or yeah, so middle ground between deep work and nothing, and prevents all or nothing crashes. And yeah, another theory or another thing that I've noticed is environment and distractions. Now, YouTube and WePlay, this game, are too accessible, but they're also my only entertainment. So what might help would be to set guardrails, improve my work environment, which like, I think this is a very big thing. A lot of people, or I didn't realize when I was starting on, how just opening my window so that sunlight could come in was such a big thing, and how it just improved my energy levels and focus in a very big way. But it sounds so simple, but yeah, it really helps. And yeah, I can do that. And I can also maybe turn on some focus music when I'm working, that like we should actually look for like things that I can do which would like increase my chances of like doing it, or increase my, I don't know, probability of like doing it better by one, even by 1%. And you have all these things, all these different things that improves it by 1, and overall they just compound into like a big number. So yeah, knock out distractions in a smart way and not remove them entirely, because I don't want to. That's my only entertainment that I got. And maybe add friction to accessing them. So yeah, no intentional breaks, which is I don't take. Yeah, I realized that I'm not taking breaks proactively because yeah, so my brain just takes them forcefully, which come in these forms of crashes. So what might help is schedule intentional breaks with guardrails. So I'll take a break from this time to this time. I mean, I usually plan for the week before, or yeah, I'm just starting to do that, and I think that's like very productive. One of the most productive things I could do is plan the week, and know what I'm going to like get out of the week, and just implement that. And so I can actually like plan blocks of breaks, and with clear start and end time, so that it prevents guilt, and I can just engage in the entertainment without actually being guilty all the time, and also prevents endless escape. And another thing is morning distractions ruin the day. If I start the morning with YouTube or WePlay, the whole day is usually lost. My mornings are my most focused time. If I win the morning, I win the day. So what might help? I would need to set up an environment structure which just protects the morning at all costs, even if my alarm fails, because usually sometimes my alarm fails and I just wake up late and they're just like, okay, I already woke up late, so might as well just get into this YouTube thing or whatever. And yeah, I should set up a system where I have no distractions, but before noon, start with one small productive action. Oh yeah, that's a big thing. So I would just, instead of like saying, okay, I need to record an entire YouTube video, I'm like, okay, let me just start with like ideating about like what video I can record about. I can snap out of it, you know. And yeah, the cost of crashes, what I actually lose is immediate cost. Yeah, I've just like told this. So daily levers don't get pulled, and yeah, all of that. Long-term cost, momentum dies completely. And if I can just turn all these like crashes into days that I actually work, it would just compound a lot more. And I don't know, like as you can see on my focus charts, like these are yesterday and today was like a crash, so I didn't work at all. And last week was kind of good, so I worked every day, and maybe here I got some crash, I don't know, but yeah, you could see if I can like turn all these crash days into like actual work days, that would just that's just like better, I mean more work done basically. Yeah. And mental cost, guilt when I come out of it, frustration and loss of trust in myself. I think this is kind of big. And here we go again, feeling. So what I'm trying next, experiments in progress. One thing is, as I said, like adding light work blocks so that I don't track every hour during that time, and just having a middle ground and protect the mornings. So I need to set up a system, but how can I do this? Maybe, I don't know, maybe just have an alarm when I'm waking up, just have this alarm and with a title saying, please don't do watch YouTube or like any distractions until like 11 o'clock or 12 o'clock. Or maybe that could be huge. Maybe I just say to myself, okay, now that I've woken up, the first thing I should do is some very small productive action. Could be, I don't know, just open my laptop and open a tab of, I don't know, open my VS Code tab. I think, yeah, that would just like create the momentum that would be needed in order to like get further. Just a second. Yeah. And improve my environment, which is like figure out what distractions I can reduce and make work slightly easier and more enjoyable. I think this is making more work more enjoyable, makes it more enjoyable in itself, and also makes it more sustainable in the long term. And schedule intentional breaks, which is something that I've said to myself, but I'm not actually doing. So I need to do this and use small steps to recover faster. So when I crash, I just need to acknowledge myself that, okay, don't fight it too hard, just start with the tiniest possible action. And that just builds momentum gradually and give myself permission to stop any point. Now, okay, why am I sharing this? The honest truth is, I haven't solved this. I don't have like a perfect way of like showing you, okay, I had this problem, now I solved this, now I'm sharing this with you. No, but I still crash regularly, but I'm noticing patterns and I'm testing things. And I think this content, I mean, if you probably work alone, like freelancing or business or just studying or whatever, you probably experience this too, or similar thing of similar kind. And some days you're unstoppable, like, and other days you just can't get anything done. If you could relate, and you just don't know always why. I think okay, so this is kind of like the AI put this in, but yeah, I mean, I think that's completely normal, and I don't think I'm broken. And yeah, I would say that I'm not lazy, but yeah, I mean, you get lazy because of the environment, and it's not just because like, okay, I'm bad, so this happened, and not like beating myself up, but actually watching I just get out of myself and watch at what's happening like a scientist, and see how can I get this person to, how can I get Alwyn to do what I want him to do, so that he can achieve the goals. So yeah, and it's hard, which it is, and what's helped me is all these small steps. And the main point of like why I'm sharing this with you is to give an authentic perspective of like what, and not just like sharing, okay, I'm not just like putting this image of like I got everything figured out. And I think that's quite important to like bond with people, and which is what I'm looking to do on YouTube. And also it's also valuable for you. I think it could also be valuable for people, because it just gives them on a perspective of how they can approach things, or at least shows them how I approach things. And sometimes it works, and once it works, like I'll also share that with you on what actually worked and what didn't. Yeah, either way, and also to show you that you're not alone in this if you're thinking, because I used to think that I was the only one like struggling with certain things. And after realizing that a lot of people struggle with this, first thing, it took the guilt away a bit and helped me like to look at it more in a scientific, scientist perspective rather than a judge. So yeah, key takeaways: crashes happen when you work alone. It's normal, I guess. I don't guess, it is normal. And the unpredictability is the hardest part for me. And I've seen that small steps method works. So yeah, just do one tiny thing and stop whenever you want. But just starting is the hardest thing. And then the all or nothing mindset, which is I need to do rather the whole thing, or I'm just doing nothing and watching YouTube. No, I need middle grounds between like deep work and nothing, which is why I'm doing the light work blocks. And then morning distractions ruin the whole day, so I'm gonna protect it by best for focus times and intentional breaks. I'm gonna like plan for intentional breaks while planning for the week. And yeah, I don't need to like have it solved to share what I'm learning, because the trenches like shows exactly shows more, I think shows more value of like what is actually happening, and kind of like, I don't know, gives perspective and gives value. And yeah, I hope that was valuable enough to you, and and authentic enough, so that yeah, authenticity is like what connects humans together, I guess. So yeah, thank you so much for watching the video, and yeah, hope that was valuable. Have a lovely rest of the day. Cheers.